Hello, everyone. First and foremost, I would really like to thank Peggy Miller, Brett Miller, and the Male Breast Cancer Happens Foundation for inviting me. I'm so sorry that I couldn't come in person, but I'm glad that I'm still able to participate and share my journey with male breast cancer situation and what we are doing globally to help make a change. So thank you so much again and for listening to me and all the best in the conference. And I wish I could come in person, then I could have met you all. But my best wishes and it goes for everyone attending the conference. I would like to first share a little bit of the screen so that I can take you to the PowerPoint. So my background is I'm a cancer research professor, but I resigned in 2017 from UNCC, University of North Carolina at Charlotte, as a cancer research professor because I really wanted to help make a change at the grassroots by bridging the gap between the developed and developing countries. So while doing that, so I do everything free. So all the services that we provide is 100% free. So that's the beauty of our organization. We are a volunteer organization. But when I started the foundation in 2017, it was very inclusive. And that's why you can see that, the logo, it has the color blue also in there and four ribbons coming together. That means we all work together, standing against discrimination of color, religion, language, gender, and so everything. So we serve humanity. Now, I want to give you a little bit of the statistics because it's very important. I know that we always think of pink, right, in the month of October, but because male breast cancer is rare. But even though it is rare, I always say that that man is a father, a brother, or the son of the family. So we cannot ignore them. And this is the statistics that we are foreseeing in the year 2025. So we are expecting, according to the American Cancer Society, 2,800 men to be diagnosed and this many deaths. So unfortunately, from the developing countries, the statistics is hardly available because most of the time it is detected late because men are not even aware that they can get breast cancer too. So I would really want to bring like just a recent presentation in the conference we had at the Western Michigan University at the Homer Strahler MD School of Medicine. This was presented on April 3rd this year, and I'm so thankful to Brett Miller and Peggy for helping us to make the case study, which was presented at the conference, and we are so thankful for that because it was an eye opener. And these are the different ways that we are trying to do. Our research is also now working towards changing the healthcare policies. So basically, through Brett's story, what we are trying to say is that it's high time that we make we bring into limelight the screening processes for males also, because it cannot be just confined to the females. And what we have done as a collaborative effort, I'm going to bring that to you too. Now, while doing this, we have male breast cancer happens. We have been working over the years, since 2018 because we built the breast self exam card together. But then over the years, the research part also, what we are trying to do is this. I just wanted to show this to you so that you understand that this is another work like we have presented in the conference, I think 2 years back. So this is the data that we received from with the help of Peggy's team earlier, over the years, I think. So now we have over here, if you can see, this is the raw data that around N to 122 patients, they may be thrivers or the lives we lost. And we can see that almost 63% were, with the death scenario. So it is high. It is extremely high. But then there were very interesting things that we discovered while doing the clinical data analysis. We have also figured out that, the distribution stage at diagnosis. What happened was, very interesting we found was that, and this is the data from N equal to 30, if N equal to 58, that most of the men were detected at stage 4 or stage 3. That means at an advanced stage compared to at an early stage. And we couldn't find anyone detected at stage 1. So here is the data that we have, accumulated. Those lives that we lost, we have taken from the family members or the patients themselves. Now, if we come to this, like the distribution distribution of grade, that is where the most interesting fact comes in. What we found that most of the time, grade means how aggressive the tumor is. So grade 1 means it is very slow growing, grade 2 is intermediate, and grade 3 means it's fast growing. Now, what we found was that most of the tumor, like 41%, were actually grade 1. And then grade 2 was 44, and grade 3, the aggressive type, was 14%. But then just see the point over here. That means the tumor was growing over a long time to be detected. Because if the grade was slow growing, then why did we see such high detection at the advanced stage? So that kind of reflects that, it's so important that the screening, the awareness, because it's all ignorance, that was awareness needs to be there, and we have to give the protocol to the men for screening processes. Now, because breast cancer, when detected early and treated correctly, it is curable. Now, I'm not going into the different screening processes because of the dearth of time, but I want to mention that, we have developed like the breast self-exam cards in collaboration with Male Breast Cancer Happens, Sarah Cannon Cancer Institute, and the Carl Baum illustration. So we made it for men also, and I'm sure everyone here, present in the conference, they all are going to receive a copy of it. And please practice it because it's very important. And main thing is share with your network. Now you can see here, like because because we work like Breast Cancer Hub works globally. We work in Africa, in Sierra Leone and Nigeria, in India, and in USA, in primarily and globally through the hybrid model. And you can see that this breast self-exam card is being used by globally. So that's how we are able to make an impact. And because we are not only talking about male breast cancer, but we're also providing the resource. And then the next what I do is I give my WhatsApp number to everyone so that anyone can reach out to me and I can help them to navigate or help with the treatment guidance. And this applies to each of you over here. If you need any help, Peggy has my number. Please get it from her. Whatever way I can do, I'll try my best. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the risk factors, and I know Peggy mentioned that I need to talk a little bit about arthritis, so I'll be quick. Now, we all know that, genetic mutation, basically 5 to 10% of all the cancers are inherited. Rest 80 to 90%, any of us can have. But it's very important to know that there are different genes, which can be can help with the development of cancer. For example, the BRCA1, BRCA2, BRCA1, BRCA2 mutation, or different other high risk genes. Now, did we ever think of, even checking the men for doing the genetic testing? Because the BRCA mutation, men, when they have it, they're not only susceptible to breast cancer, but also prostate cancer and other type of cancer. So I would request, if in your family you have, your aunt, your mom, your grandma, diagnosed with breast cancer or ovarian cancer, it's high time that, because the gene is inherited by the men also, there's 25% chance for the offsprings to get it. So these are very important that we please do the full panel, not just BRCA mutation, but the full panel, because there are many high penetrance genes, many medium penetrance genes, which are actually can be the promoters for the development of the cancer scenario. Now, these are the risk factors for the male breast cancer that I have put it together. Now, you can see that these are different, like aging, family history, then radiation exposure, alcohol, liver disease, hormonal treatment, obesity, testicular conditions, gynecomastia. But there are also like Klinefelter syndrome and also Cowden syndrome. Klinefelter syndrome means that when we have an extra X chromosome. Cowden syndrome is when you have like certain lumps in your body, and sometimes there can be chances of getting into cancer. So please be very vigilant about the symptoms, because it's very important, because I always feel that prevention is always better than cure. But if you're going through the cancer scenario, we make sure that, we are managing the risk factors very carefully so that, you can help with restricting the tumor cells to kind of travel faster. Now, this is where I want to bring your attention about inflammation and breast cancer, because inflammation is a part of body's immune response, because without it, we cannot heal. But when it's out of control, it can damage the body. I don't know how many of you know here that arthritis, which is an inflammatory condition, this can be actually a very, the chronic arthritis, it can help with the progression of cancer. And this was my research, which got press release in 2012, where we discovered that when we have arthritis, when we have chronic arthritis, there's a lot of inflammation. The pro-inflammatory cytokines and the breast cancer cells, their favorite spot are the bones. So they travel to the bones. But when they have a condition where, they are a conducive environment, further analyzed was that, we tried to kind of analyze different pro-inflammatory cytokines. For example, IL-17, VEGF, PGE2, IL-6, MCSF, and others. But we found that these are mostly produced by the mast cells in the chronic environment, in the arthritic environment. And these mast cells are activated by tumor-derived stem cell factor, which are present on the cancer cells. So just imagine, this is like a lock and key mechanism. And it was much clearer over here that what happens is that the stem cell factor, so I wanted to show you my own slides. You can see that the red that you see over here, these are actually the expression of stem cell factor on the breast cancer cell. This is my work under the microscope. So what happens is that you can imagine in your mind. So for example, these are the bones that I'm showing. The bones will have this pro-inflammatory cytokines, the mast cell receptor, c-KIT receptor. And when the tumor cells are traveling with the stem cell factor, which is being, which is being triggered. So at that point, it is like, they're coming and binding. So this is a huge interaction that happens. And that's when we saw that within the arthritic environment, the breast cancer cells travel much faster. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is that because it's very important when diagnosed with cancer, and if we are having any other chronic inflammatory condition in the body, we need to definitely go and, develop a situation where we are down regulating the inflammation because it acts like fuel in fire. Now, these are different other risk factors, and I don't want to go into details because of the time constraint, but I want to mention that tobacco is the number one killer because tobacco is carcinogen, which causes mutation damage to the DNA of the cell. So this tobacco, total no-no, and these are the different other things that I have mentioned, and I'm not going into detail, but stress, is important because stress is a master regulator. And how can we curtail stress? We can do that by exercise, by meditation, leading a healthy life. Now, many people told me like background radiation is again important. Those who are working in atomic center, or different other places, please make sure that you have a badge where it is being monitored, the amount of radiation you are exposed to. So what I tell everyone is that it's your body. You have to be so, you have to do your own due diligence to make sure that you are protecting yourself through various lifestyle from the environment, the areas we are working. And, there is a bucket where many patients ask me, like, I did everything right. Why did I get breast cancer or any cancer? And my answer is, I do not know. But then whatever is in our hands, which we know, we need to actually try to address them. And I've seen patients who have led a healthy lifestyle, their response to the treatment is also better. So every time remember one thing, that nothing goes in vain. So it's important that we maintain a healthy lifestyle. I'm not going into diet and all, but I just want to mention that probably I may not have much time, but I want to mention that how we are making an impact, in North Carolina, of course, across USA, India, Africa, and globally through our hybrid model. Now, this is in USA. What we are trying to do is everywhere I'm going, I'm trying to bring the men in the picture. So you can see that, like the students, the youth, the military in service, the veterans, then when we are going to the companies, different educational institutions, you will always see that it's not restricted. You can see over here, it's mostly men. And believe me that even in the US, when men get to know that they have breast cancer and they can get breast cancer, they are shocked because even though it's the most advanced country in the world, they are not aware about it. So I'm so glad that, through the efforts, we are able to bring that change, and we are able to save so many lives, so many men, who are diagnosed early because of the breast self-exam card that we have developed. Now, here in Sierra Leone and Benin, similar thing we are doing. We are trying to go to the community, do the screening, and we also take care of the treatment. Because otherwise, how will they afford the treatment? So that is how we are working. And even in Benin, our collaborators, you can see here, they're mostly men, So men have jumped in, like it's not just a women thing anymore. And I'm so glad that, you can see here in Benin, in the mostly like I have involved all the men. So what I do now is that I always tell everyone that I'm not going to come to a place if you're restricting only women to come. So you have to bring the men also in the picture, and that's how it is helping basically. Now in India, definitely India, I think we were the first ones to actually cultivate the thing that men get breast cancer too, because there's so much of what do I say, the cultural barrier. So we have to break that. So now what we did was, we go door to door. I not only do the urban community outreach, but we have adopted villages. So villages, we go door to door, and it is totally inclusive. We are giving the breast self exam card in the local language, because we made it in 24 languages and all translated by our volunteers, no Google translation. And then we are going, for example, in different parts of India, the villages we adopted, we give it in that respective language. But while doing that, we are also working now with all different cancers, because they were complaining about cervical cancer issues, prostate cancer issues, colon cancer issues. But the other challenges we faced were, even if we would tell them, like, please go to the hospital, they didn't care, because food is their priority. So our teams are villagers themselves. I train them in the hospital. They go like 2-3 hours distance by train, by bus. They take them to the hospital. Our team stays with them, with the patients, because the villagers are not even aware that the government scheme exists if they provide the income certificate. So we do all of that, generation of the certificate, and then whatever extra, because these are subsidized treatment, but not everything is free. So we kind of help them with all of that. And I can proudly say that this number that you see, this is like 62 villages since February 2020 to December 2024. And this many villagers we have screened, and among them, half of the population are men. So, and then from there, from like no awareness, all the men are totally aware now. And they are not only aware, they will make other people aware. And these are like the most conservative areas who have never even thought of, they didn't even know what cancer is. And, then all suspicious cases we are taking care, and I owe it to our team, because they're amazing. We are able to do that because of them. So you can see here, this was the status, when we started it. Like, even in the urban society in India, less than 1% actually went for screening. They did breast self exam, or they did, just imagine. So irrespective of socioeconomic condition, irrespective of education, this is the condition. They're urban means they're all educated, and in the villages it's totally no, because there's no screening at all done, because it's all about food. It's all about their daily wage. They're like, who is going to go, even like taking the patients to the hospital, our team does, because the villagers said we can't waste 2 people's wage. So we cannot afford it, because how will we afford the food at night for our kids? So our team has to do that. So this is the work that we have been doing. In addition, we also have support groups. So if anyone wants any help, I do treatment guidance. We have local support groups, but online we have a very private WhatsApp group. If you would like to be a part of it, most welcome. And then we also have a hero award. So we have those patients, who have done so much for others. They are thrivers, but they have done so much for others too. And I want to say that with male, in the developing countries, I have had so many patients, but no one wanted to come forward except for this man, and how he got to know, about male breast cancer, because his wife attended one of my sessions. And this man bravely came and spoke about his journey, though he was 71, and he received the Bravest Hero Award from Breast Cancer Hub.
Yes.
So this is amazing. We also have care package, and I very recently sent it to Miss Rene, in a different state. So we make it, yes, in Colorado,
yes.
and we make it in different colors. So we make it in neutral color, in blue color, so that we do not want to isolate the man anyway. So if anyone needs this care package, it's a heart-shaped pillow. We have a pocket here, so you can insert ice pack or hot pack, and you can put it under your breast.
That's wonderful.
Yes. So please, you just have to message me, email me. I will ship it to you. We make this beautiful, very soft material. We order the material, hats, so that if there are lesions or any bruises, it covers that. So these are material is so soft because it's not the knitted, but this is like a very soft material, and you can see all the colors we have, all different colors.
That's
And then
beautiful.
yes, and we also made the chemoport pillows, and you can see the blue over here. So basically, when we have a port, it hurts when we wear the seat belt. So you can strap this port on the seat belt, and it helps with the cushioning. So anyone needing the care package, you just have to please just email me, and I will ship it to you. So that is something that I want to do it for you. So anyone from the conference, please reach out to me.
That's wonderful.
Thank you, Peggy. Our research is also now at the grassroots, changing healthcare policies. As I showed, the research we have been doing with male breast cancer happens over the years. And, and also we are working with the LGBTQ plus community, because we have seen so much of breast cancer in the trans women, because, they are taking so much of hormones and they are not even aware, because what they need is acceptance. I'm trying to work in those scenarios with research, which is very untapped, so that we can help the community. Yes, so this is what we have been doing, and this is our global, team. And all the time, I always say that a lot of times people ask me, how do you differentiate? And I always say we have to work together. That's why our tagline is together we save lives. So thank you so much, Peggy. Because of you, I could come and present today in front of the esteemed audience present here. I'm sure everyone is amazing here, and I wish everyone good luck, and anytime anyone needing any help, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. As I said, everything I do is free. So please, I just need, this will give me immense satisfaction if I am able to help and serve you. Thank you.
You do an amazing job, and I applaud you. What you're doing still from when we first met is amazing. You brought
we met in 2018, right?
I know it, exactly. And it was back then that I had several men from Nigeria, where that country would not even treat men for breast cancer. They just told them they let them go. They let them die. They would give them no treatment, which was that. And you just got back from that area, right?
I came back from Nigeria and Sierra Leone. So we have been working there since 2021, but I went in person for the first time. It was eye-opener. The poverty, no electricity. I was talking with the oncologist. They were showing me the chemo room with the infrastructure so difficult. Then even in Sierra Leone, we are not able to do the receptor status. We have to send the tissues to Ghana or India. So I was like, because so it's like a blanket treatment being done. So what I'm now doing is trying to work with the system, the Ministry of Health and others, and with the hospital system in Benin, in Nigeria, so that we can make long-term changes in whatever way, so that we come with towards the correct protocol of treatment can be given to the patients.
So now they're actually recognizing men in that area?
Yes, I'm talking everywhere about men. Even in Sierra Leone, we had a man we treated actually through breast cancer.
Yeah, it was Joseph, and he couldn't get treatment, and then I didn't hear from him, so I have to imagine he was metastatic stage 4 that he
was from Sierra Leone, right?
Yes,
Yes, I know. We helped him with the treatment like three times, and we lost him actually.
I thought we did, because I hadn't heard from him in about a year.
Because I just came from Sierra Leone and I was asking for Joseph, and we lost him.
Yes. And he didn't make it. That is sad, but because they would not treat him back then. We tried contacting the government and everything else, couldn't get very far at all. Yeah. But he did open the eyes to many.
Yes, he was an amazing person.
Country to let them know men
have breast too. And everything, yeah.
So God bless you for all you're doing. Yes, we're gonna miss you. I wanted to give you a hug and see you. But I get it and I understand it. You're a demand lady. You're doing
No, I will be actually in Arizona next weekend. So that's
Okay, well, that's great. Well, we love you, kiddo, and I thank you again and appreciate all that you're doing.
Inviting me. Thank you so much. And please convey my thanks to Brett and everyone.
We'll do it.